Welcome to the Last Chance Annual Picnic. Here's the owner of Last Chance Ford Lincoln Mercury, Stretch Logan. Stretch is a former basketball player who bought this dealership when it was going downhill. But he has instituted changes that are turning Last Chance around. And here's Darryl Collier, that is. There's no one Darryl admires more than Darryl. And Alvin Toffer, our veteran. This is the third owner that Alvin has worked for. Whoever said you can't teach an old dog new tricks certainly didn't have Alvin in mind. Sheila Benson is our #1 sales consultant. She leads by example at Last Chance. And the new kid on the block, Michael Martin. Michael joined us about 6 months ago and has been a quick study and great to have around. And I'm Ray Abruzzi, the sales manager of Last Chance. I've seen a lot happen over the past 12 years, but you know, I'm really beginning to feel like we're bringing customers back for life. Well, gang, we're back for another celebration picnic.
Yeah, I didn't think we could come back here. Sheila told me about the situation you had last year.
Hey, I got the fire out, no problem.
Yes, you did, Darryl. Of course, the volunteer fire department did help out a little.
I don't remember. Was it a whole National Guard troop that had to be called out?
Hey, come on, you guys. We're the sales team. We're the hosts of this picnic. We've got to get everything together here.
I think this is a great way to say thanks to the rest of the Last Chance team.
If we really want to thank him, let's make sure we don't let Darryl cook. Where did you learn to cook?
Well, hardy, ha. I didn't need to learn. It comes naturally, like selling cars and making outstanding barbecue sauce.
Speaking of learning, just as I started with Last Chance, you seem to be having a lesson from a teacher. Am I right?
No, excuse me, retired teacher, and don't remind me.
She retired because of you, right?
No, she retired before I even met her. She was a piece of work. Let me tell you what happened. It was a normal day at Last Chance. I was up, and I see this sweet little old lady walk through the front door. Now, I love old ladies. They remind me of my dear sweet mom. As I start to walk towards her, I hear this booming voice say,
May I have someone's attention, please?
"Good day and welcome to Last Chance Ford Lincoln Mercury. My name is Darryl Collier. I'll be a sales consultant. Now, why don't we move over to my desk and we can get to know one another, and I'll tell you all about our cars."
I have no wish to get to know you, and as for cars, I know what I want, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'm sure you do, and I do too. But first, let me ask you 2 questions. First, what is your name? And second, you sure you're old enough to drive?
Young man, I'm not only old enough to drive, but I'm old enough to be your mother. Perish the thought. My name is Carol Trethwait, Mrs. Carol Trethwait.
Hey, Carol and Darryl. Sounds like a great combo.
It's Mrs. Trethwait.
Right, Mrs. Trethwait. So I can help you better. Let me just ask, will you be using the car for work? And will your husband, Mr. Trethwait, be joining us?
I'm a retired school teacher, and I had plenty of bad boys like you. And no, Mr. Trethwait will not be joining us. He passed away. Now, I know what I want, if you know what I mean, so let's get to work.
What is it that you want?
I would like this Ford Taurus that I saw advertised. I would like it with all of these accessories. And I'm prepared to spend this much, what you said in your ad, and not a penny more.
You have a very thorough list of options. In fact, you listed just about every option we offer.
Did she really list every option we offer?
And more. I think she wanted a mariachi band instead of a horn.
So did you start gurgling and then pass out on the floor?
You don't do that, do you?
Yeah, not anymore. No, I just said, now look, you old biddy. For the amount of money you have listed here, you couldn't afford bus fare home. Then I fainted.
Darryl.
Okay. Don't worry, Stretch. I really have learned something this past year. Here's what I did. I started explaining how what she had given me was very unrealistic. Then I said, you just can't get all these options on a Ford Taurus. Now, what you picked out of the newspaper is a valid ad, and what you're requesting is valid. But you just can't get all the options you requested on the Taurus, and you can't get all that you asked for the price that you're willing to pay.
Well, now I know what I want, if you know what I mean. So if you can't help me, perhaps another dealer can.
Mrs. Trethwait, you can try every other dealer in North America. But I'm afraid to get what you want, you're either going to have to consider foregoing some of the options or consider spending a little bit more as you drive out of here in a beautiful Ford Crown Victoria.
Well, I suppose I could show some flexibility on some of these items. but my husband Herbert always insisted on a V8 engine. I can remember to this day going to buy a car with him and Herbert saying to the salesman, "My wife will tell you everything else I want. I just want a car with a V8. And out of respect to Herbert, I must have the Taurus with the V8 engine."
Listen, Mrs. Trethwait, you used to be a teacher, right? You may not believe this. I used to be a student, and I know all about cars. Now, you come with me. Let me show you how well I did my homework.
Bernie Green, pick up line 22.
Let me show you in this brochure what I'm talking about. Now, first of all, the Taurus isn't made with a V8 engine. It's not an available option no matter how much money you're willing to spend. But let me show you what you can get at this price with the Taurus. Then let me show you what options you can get with the Crown Victoria, which does have a V8 engine. And basically, how you can get the most car for your money.
So what you're saying is that if I want to get a V8, I have to get the Crown Victoria. And that costs quite a lot more than the Taurus.
That's correct. Now, they're both excellent cars. You saw that in the test drive. Either way, you're a winner. Now, the Taurus, as you saw, has tremendous comfort and maneuverability, but it doesn't come with a V8. But it is closer to the price you want to pay. Now, the Crown Victoria has everything you want in a car, but it's going to cost you more. Now, either way, you make a decision. You'll find that the cars have high value, which is enhanced by the value of Last Chance Ford Lincoln Mercury as your dealer.
Well, you did do your homework. And I think I know what I want, if you know what I mean. Oh, my. What would Herbert have said?
Oh, probably, yes, dear.
Good story, Darryl.
Now that I know that you have made the sale, you have done some follow-up, haven't you?
Yeah, but unfortunately, I may be making another sale as a result.
How can another sale be unfortunate?
She wants to send me her sister, but she warned me that she's the stubborn one. She knows what she wants, if you know what I mean. I tell you, I'm going to give that sister to Alvin. You're the same generation.
Cute, Darryl. And if Kevin Channing has a twin, I'll send him to you.
Why, was he the same age as Darryl?
Oh, no, he's just a real headache like Darryl.
Oh, you mean loud, obnoxious, poorly dressed?
Oh, no, he was different than that. I still get the same kind of a headache, though. Now, he walked in the door, and it was like a machine. All he wanted was the price. He didn't want to know, to hear, or to do anything else. Did you get a chance to look over that brochure? I think you'll find
I'd like to talk with you about the price of a Sable.
Well, that's awfully fast. Let's just slow down a little here. Let's get to know each other a bit more and talk about what car you really want. Then let me show it to you, explain the features, go for a test ride, then we can talk price.
I don't think that all of that is necessary. What's the price of a Sable?
Just a moment. We haven't even established what model you're looking for. I can't give you the price yet. Plus, you really need to go for a test drive. You know, I really think you're going to get a kick out of that remote keyless entry system. Let's give it a try and then go for a spin.
I have no desire to go for a spin. I think it would be much more prudent to discuss the price of a Sable now.
I really had to get a grip on myself there. Believe it or not, I really found I was actually starting to literally push this guy into the car.
Yeah, Alvin and I have spent a lot of time discussing how hard it is to vary from the sales steps.
Of course, you want to meet or exceed the sales standards, including the walk-around and test drive before the price.
But you also have to listen to your customers.
Don't you mean client?
Why, Darryl, will wonders never cease? I'm surprised you remember that a client is someone with whom you're building a long-standing and recurring relationship.
I realized I needed to step back a little because this guy was going to walk. I think once you see one of these cars, you're really going to be delighted. Just
Look, Mr. Tofu, I really want to talk price, and I don't want to be obligated to you.
Look, Mr. Channing, please, call me Alvin. Say, do you eat frozen yogurt? You know, I love the stuff. I go to this place that has 17 different flavors. I pop in there sometimes, try one or two. If I don't like the flavor du jour, I don't buy it. No obligation, no
I
problem.
see the sticker price on this car, and I want to address this before I address anything else. Now, this car is worth considering, but I need a good price.
Hey, I just thought of a great idea. You know that yogurt place I was telling you about? Well, it's only 6 or 7 minutes down the road. Why don't you, me, and the Sable take a drive down there and I'll treat you to a yogurt? Well, if you like, I'll just treat you to a taste. No obligation to buy any yogurt or the Sable.
Suppose I told you I've already driven the Sable, and I know what it feels like.
Yeah, but you don't know what this car feels like. Now, I'm not trying to claim that just because it's under the last chance roof, it's better made. I just feel you should be certain that this beauty is the car for you. So, come on, hop in and we'll get going.
I'm very concerned about time. We must find some time to talk about price. But as concerned as I am about time, I'm even more concerned about money. So let's talk about price, and then we'll see if we have the time or the inclination to talk about anything else.
Let's work together on this, Kevin. I believe that we can find a price you're comfortable with. And I think that by driving the Sable, you'll see it has great value for the money.
I just want to know your best price on the car.
Believe it or not, I'm not trying to be difficult. This is a very complex question. I mean, in what form... No, let me try that again. How do you want the number stated?
I'm not trying to be difficult either, but I am getting a little frustrated. What is the price of the Sable?
Well, let me just try and explain my dilemma. Are we talking about a payment plan? I mean, the out-the-door price? A leasing plan? I want to give you the answer you want to hear.
That was excellent, Alvin, the way you put the situation back in the customer's lap.
Yeah, but did it work?
Well, let me tell you what he said next. It was as if there was a release of pressure between us.
Well, perhaps you're right. I am trying to comparison shop to get the best price, and I need a price from you to see how you stack up.
Have you been to any other dealers, Kevin?
Well, to be absolutely honest, I have. I've been to two. One offered me a price that was fairly similar to your sticker price, and the other one offered me a price that was so low it absolutely astonished me. Now, I'm here to see if you can beat that price.
Yeah, I'm just curious, but are you familiar with the term lowball?
I've heard it. I'm not exactly sure what it means in this context.
Well, I'm not trying to cast aspersions on any other dealer. I mean, at Last Chance Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, we stand on our own merits. We don't need to badmouth anybody else. We're an honest dealership, and we have loyal customers to prove it. In fact, I'd be happy to give you a list of names of some of my customers as references. See, in my experience, when you're given an outrageously low price, as you were when you walked out the door, you're being lowballed. And there's just no way they're going to honor that price when you come back. They'll find one excuse or another, but you're not going to be paying just that price. Yeah, it's like the woman who walks into the butcher shop and asks if they have any lamb chops. And the butcher says, oh yeah, we got fine lamb chops. She says, how much? He says, the lamb chops are $3.85 a pound. She says, $3.85 a pound? At the butcher shop down the street, they're only $3.45 a pound. So the butcher says, why'd you buy them there? She says, they're all out of lamb chops. He says, well, when I'm all out of them, they're only $3.20 a pound. Now, that's lowballing. You won't find that at Last Chance.
Point well taken. However, I still need a price from you.
Absolutely right. I just want to explain. This is not how we like to do business. You know, I think we're rushing the process along. But, look, two last points. Before you decide on where to buy the car, find out what else they're about in terms of service and maintenance. And second, remember, anybody with the last opportunity can beat the last and lowest price. Say, why don't we go back into the showroom and talk some numbers, huh?
Well, all of this looks very reasonable. I think we can do some business.
Oh, well, that's great. We'd really be pleased to call you one of our clients. I
don't mean to interrupt, but the time.
Oh, that's right. You were short on time. Look, you want to make an appointment for tomorrow?
Well, actually, I was bringing up time for a different reason. It's getting kind of late, and I haven't had much to eat. I was wondering...
You were wondering what?
I was wondering if the sales consultants at Last Chance were honest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course we are.
And you keep your word.
Oh, yeah, sure. Of course we do. Excuse me, but what are we talking about here?
Look, you told me if we went for a test drive in the Sable, you'd treat me to a frozen yogurt. Well, are we going or what?
Yeah, of course. Come on, let's go.
I also want to see that keyless entry deal that you were telling me about.
Yeah, no problem.
You're lending your car out, you're taking clients out for yogurt. You are becoming quite the sales guy.
Not bad for 50 years in the biz.
You are such a know-it-all, Darryl.
Oh, he's not so bad. What? About 5 months ago, I had a real know-it-all. Miss Information, I like to call her. She was annoying even in the welcome. I'm telling you, I knew I was in for trouble. As you can see, the Explorer XLT 4-door is a pretty impressive vehicle, and I think you'll be impressed by the way it stacks up against the competition.
I've done all the research. I have all the facts. I don't want to hear broad comparisons. Let's talk specifics.
I've got no problem with that. We have a lot of faith in the Explorer.
Well, I've also been looking at the Jeep Grand Cherokee and the Chevy Tahoe, and I'm impressed.
They're both good vehicles, but I'd still take the Explorer.
Well, of course you would. You're selling them. What a ridiculous thing to say.
I'm sorry, I'm not speaking from a sales consultant's perspective. I'm talking features. Let's take four-wheel drive.
Well, it's about time we got to the facts, if you know them. Now, the Blazer has Instatrack.
For added floor space, the Explorer features the standard electric shift, touch drive four-wheel drive system. The Blazer and the Grand Cherokee both utilize the standard floor-mounted shift lever.
The Blazer has 74.3 cubic feet of cargo space. The Grand Cherokee, 79.2.
Donna, you're making it easier for the facts to sell the vehicle. The Explorer has 81.6 feet of cargo space.
How do the weights of the vehicles compare?
Well, the Explorer weighs about 4,000 pounds, and I think the other two are about the same.
You think? You think? Well, you're not paid to think. You're paid to know. The facts are this. The Jeep Cherokee weighs exactly 3,633 pounds. The Chevy Tahoe weighs 4,350. Why must I do everyone's work for them?
You're right. You're absolutely right. But I think we should go for a drive in the Explorer and really find out all that it has to offer.
Look, with all due respect, I'm not even sure why I bothered to come in here. There's a safety issue on the Explorer that really has me concerned. This thing has no airbags, and I don't think I should even consider it.
Now hold on. Time out.
And that's when you slammed her one.
You told her to walk, right?
You gave her to Darryl?
I didn't think of that. No, I was really mad. But I knew if I lose my temper, I lose my customer. And it was really important that I didn't let her lose face by spouting off more incorrect data. So I said, you're not being fair and you're not being accurate. You pride yourself on credible information, and now you're making claims that I feel obligated to straighten out.
Oh, yeah? Well, I happen to know that in the crash test...
The Explorer did extremely well. The Ford Motor Company prides itself on the safety of the Explorer. The Explorer now has a four-wheel anti-lock braking system that helps you to avoid accidents. There's some information in there on anti-lock brakes that I think you should take a look at to help you decide on the safety issues related to the Explorer.
Maybe I made too broad of a statement.
With all due respect, Donna, I think you might have. And to tell you the truth, if I had said something like that, you would have thrown it right back at me, and you would have had every reason to do so. The other point is, you came in to see the Explorer because you told me that it had the features you were looking for.
Like what?
Did you say you wanted good fuel economy?
Yes.
More cargo capacity? More floor space? Passenger comfort and roominess? Seating for 6? And a better bottom line price?
Yes.
That's the Explorer. And it is a safe car. This is a vehicle that fits almost all of your needs. Look, I myself would like to have a mutual fund that guarantees me a high yield or my money back. Can you do that for me?
I only wish. But I can talk to you about making a smart investment.
And I'm talking to you about a smart investment. I'm giving you facts because that's what you asked for. I'm giving you features because that's what you want. What do you say? Shall we go for a test drive?